The house lights come up, the stage goes black, and everything else and everyone else in the world is silent. Everyone but you. And we hear your character's thoughts, and they're communicated to us, so not only the other players, but most importantly the game master, can hear what the character's thinking, what their thoughts are, and get a better, more fully realized understanding of the personality of that character, of the dynamic changes that are and have been occurring in that character. So that player has the spotlight, has the ability to show us what is happening with that character. Now, this is a soliloquy, and this is a concept that I came up with 12, maybe 13 years ago. And the reason I came up with it is when I was playing a vampire game that happened to go on for a little over 4 years, it was vaguely frustrating to me, the fact that I had an extraordinarily mentally complex character, and through role-playing, I could only show off a percentage, a small portion of that, and there was so much thought and thinking going on in the character that I really had no outlet to show. I developed the idea, which I brought into my games, for soliloquies, and we usually have these 1 to 3 times a session. Our sessions are usually around 8 hours long. Now, that's for every character. Now, I have the right as a game master, or someone else is running in our group. Everyone that runs in my group uses these now, as they really like the concept. And when your game master calls for it, he gets to hear what is happening with that character. And it may even have some slight prompts, but it's usually just general input onto the player to produce the thoughts of that character. Now the character, or the player, also has the right at any time to call for a soliloquy. You really get the drama and the passion over, and a game should really be about that. Let the players have that ability to dictate and say, no, I want to stop here and really explain what my character is thinking. So if we were watching a show, we like to refer to it as a show, like you're watching a show on HBO or Showtime, and there was that character sort of stopping what's happening, and we're really getting that character's thoughts. I think it really lends towards everyone having a better understanding of their character, because they're forced to think about these things, and myself having a better understanding as a game master what that who that character is and how that character is going, how to best use, where to best put this character, what sort of plot lines and arcs to develop for this character, and it gives the character the ability to express those things that they otherwise weren't able to engage through role playing. So they don't have that feeling of frustration. They'll leave feeling spent. Allow them to spend that mental energy in that fashion. Now, when you have your soliloquy, I play your theme music, and everybody gets theme music in my game. Generally, I come up with a theme music. Sometimes the player will have good theme music, and we'll go with that. I typically try to pick theme music that says something about the character, and every once in a while we even have hints or clues in there if the player is smart enough to figure that out. So some of the songs that I've used, and I also might play theme music for a character during something else. If a character does something really kick-ass or really heroic, over-the-top, cool cinematic stuff, we really try to play for that high cinematic value, those scenes that are going to be remembered is the style of play we have. You know, make it cool, make it come back. I always encourage my players to say, feed me, give me energy, make the game fun for me, and I'm going to keep running it for you so we can all keep having a good time. Because this is another thing that players often so rudely forget. It is their job to entertain the game master, as it is the game master's job to entertain the players. And players that do not understand that are the ones that produce all these DM burnout videos that I see on YouTube continuously. If a game master's having fun, he's not going to get burnout. He's going to come up, he's going to sit up hours after the players are gone that night and write and write and write, and the players are going to reap the rewards of that in a more fully living, breathing environment that they can enjoy in future games. The game master, particularly for the characters that are entertaining them the most, he might sit there and design more stuff for them. Not stuff as in magic items or hokey things like that. Stuff, not that you couldn't, but stuff as far as scenes, those good scenes that pop and have a lot of emotion invested in them. They're really allowing that guy to get his shine on and to be really the center and focal point of the action that's currently happening, to really show off whatever aspect you saw developed in that last game session, or to really continue to get over what aspects he's trying to push with that character. So when something cool happens, also I might drop that theme music in. Theme music is a great idea. It really helps to separate the players, to put them up on another level from NPCs. And I also use theme music for some of my key NPCs, and I'll hit that music, and then the players will definitely, oh yeah, that's Aadun, or that's in Kindle, and we fully recognize that as you're engaging them in another way through the retentive abilities of music, and it helps make a scene much richer. I tend to use music a lot through my games, and I'm going to do an entire video about that upcoming. However, just to run through a few of the characters that I've had in games past, probably just run through just a few of the characters from my last 3 Dungeons & Dragons games that span over the last 3 years. Charles Mercadius, who is a paladin of gods of death. He is lawful evil and still has a strongly heroic vibe in him. He rides a nightmare and wields a hammer that is wont to destroy things, as is the custom of his warhammer. He has the theme music of Holy Diver. The player of Charles Mercadius, Rob Farrenholt, what's good, Manager, is a fireman in real life, and he related to me one time a story of he didn't even really like Dio before, and we used the Dio version, not a cover version. He didn't really like Dio much before I started using that for his music, and he absolutely loves it, and he loves Dio now. He was talking about getting a fire call and riding the engine out one time, and when he flipped the music on, it was Holy Diver, and he said, oh, hell yeah, we're going to go put that fire out, and he really got pumped up, so it's quite funny, and I'm probably going to try to force him to leave some comments in the box below for my amusement. Another character, Amara, a half-elf bard in my Forgotten Realms game, who had a real tragic past. She was from Tilverton. Anyone knows the story of Tilverton. She didn't know it, when we put her character together, and she left Tilverton, and during the course of the game, as I started the game in 1370 DR, she has all her family, everyone she knew from Tilverton, is just scooped up by some black nebulous forces, and her father and these people she loves are gone. So Ozzy Osbourne's Road to Nowhere was really a perfect fit for her, talking about the tragedy and the sorrow, but still having to continue on that road. Another character, a barbarian by the name of Valorian. I had a very interesting complex story for this character. I used the theme song Deep Purple's Perfect Strangers, and the same player as Kevin Cuff. The same player played a Egyptian-style character with a Kopesh who was of the bloodline of an angel, which he finally found out was Asmodeus, who in the D&D canon actually was perhaps the first angel who became the first devil, and he was from an extraordinarily old bloodline of with the bloodline of Asmodeus that dated back to the angelic, and he's from Mulhorandi. His theme music was Night Wishes, I Wish I Had an Angel, and he really enjoyed that. Another character, Olander, a half-orc priest of Helm. His theme music was Judas Priest, Prisoner of My Eyes. Guider, a halfling priest of Arugalon, the halfling god who is symbolized by a black dog. The theme music was Led Zeppelin's Black Dog, which is great for Steve Fillmore, as Steve Fillmore would do absurdly long soliloquies. I would literally have to hit Black Dog twice, and I used a live version which was 13 minutes long. Another player, Tim Healy, is Gregor Tracton, a character that he actually reprised. He played in my Ravenloft game, which lasted for 4 years, and we brought the character up from AD&D 2nd Edition stats to 3.5 stats, and we brought him into the Forgotten Realms game as a fighter priest who ended up going Kinsai PRC. He fought with a bastard sword. His theme music, Iron Maiden's Trooper, which is very apropos for the character, as he was a real scrappy character who had been through just some horrendous ordeals, but kept pushing forward, ever forward. Another character, Urkor, played by Ken Sinners. His character's theme music was Pantera's Walk, which was very fitting, as his character was most pushing forward, most curmudgeon in his aspect in ways. some theme music that I've used for my own personal characters in other games. The Lacuna Coil cover of Depeche Mode's "Enjoy the Silence" for an assassin character who was a follower of a death goddess who killed for her, and we used a catch line as I'd grab an NPC or monster and I'd kill them. I'd whisper into their ear, "Enjoy the silence," and use that over and over again. I like to have different catchphrases for characters, and that one was such a natural there. I have another character I'm currently playing who uses Sisters of Mercy's Lucretia, My Reflection. He is a wizard who was a member of a cult that was burned out by another organization, literally burned. The character has a fear of fires now. He's a gold elf, first elf I've played in like 15 years, over 15 years actually, just to vary it up and do something different. And he had a twin sister who was in the cult, and his twin sister was not as fortunate. She wasn't able to escape, but as he went back, he was able to find her skull with just some flesh on it burned down, and so as a prop, I'll get something like a skull and put it in a bag. He carries it around, and I'll pull it out, and he'll sit there and kind of talk to the skull, and I'll look around if he wants to slide the skull back in there. And his real motivation for the whole thing is to try to get his sister brought back to life. And we can also sort of probably work some necromantic things in there as well, in terms of him trying to put her spirit in there, and so I have some interesting ideas for that. Another character I played a warlock one time, and I absolutely hate the class. They're so boring. Point shoot, point shoot, point shoot, point shoot. It's very, very, very boring class. I do not like them. But interesting enough, I played a warlock who essentially worshipped more into the Cthulhu aspects of gods, and had those sort of pacts and bargains made. And used Iron Maiden's "Can I Play with Madness?" Big Iron Maiden fan, and I think they make great theme music. As their songs are just really powerful and real kick-ass. I used Strange Age by Lord of Acid for the character I mentioned in Kindle, and Only Forever for another one of my characters, Ayadun, who I'm going to mention a bit more. I think about both of these characters when I do a video about NPCs and building a network for an NPC. I don't just build one NPC and then he's there. I develop who's his family, where's his lineage, who are his allies, and I keep building out and out and out. So that'll be another video to look forward. And if you like this, leave comments, please. Let me know. I have a lot of different ideas for which sorts of videos. As you can see, there's different types. There's reviews, there's comments on gaming in general, and there's videos from different game systems. So just let me know what your favorites are, and I will try to make more videos in that area. And if you don't like something, let me know. I have a pretty thick skin, and I'll try to edit it down, as I'm rather new to this. And again, hit the subscribe button and see more of these videos. Thank you.